Jojo dreams of mysteries untold of the woman who lived in the stories of old. Maria, oh Maria, with eyes like stars so bright, guiding through darkness into the light. He hears her whispers in the moon's soft glow. In the secrets of the wind, her voice seems to flow. Maria Ozick, the world changer unseen. In Jojo's heart, you become his queen. Maria, Maria, rise from the past. With Jojo beside you, his legacy will last. Changing the world one heart at a time. In his dreams, here's your rhyme. She speaks of love, of unity and peace, of a future where wars and divide cease. Maria, guiding Jojo's heart so true, with a vision of a world that feels brand new. She came with wisdom, timeless and strong, telling Jojo the world we all get along. With every word, she lights his way. Maria, Maria, rise from the past. With Jojo beside you, your legacy will last. Changing the world one heart at a time. In his dreams, he is your rhyme. Through the veil of time, her spirit shines, helping Jojo see the world's inside. She shows him how love can break every chain, turning his sorrow into hope again. So here's to Maria, the mother of dreams, hope and love for the human race. Maria, Maria, forever stay in Jojo's heart, you're guiding his way. With visions of light and the world reborn, he carries your spirit from dusk till dawn. We're changing the world one heart at a time. In his dreams, he is your rhyme. For Jojo, a heart so true, with Maria all sick, guiding him through. Changing the world in her name, he holds her lights, igniting the flame.
There she piles a lonely train. She is lost forevermore. All the worlds and all the stars filling up this universe could never be as close as ours, could never shine as bright or bold. And I won't desert you, I don't know what to say. I really hurt you, I nearly gave it all away. But I've got it all wrong, and you are not the wrong one. And I don't know where to turn when you're gone, when you're gone. And I don't know where to turn when you're gone, when you're gone. Dum 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 dum. We all want some kind of love. Sometimes it's not good enough. To the wall and on the floor, with a stranger on the floor. And what does this ship bring to me? Far across the restless sea. She's drifting further from her course. She is lost forevermore. And we all want some kind of love. Sometimes it's not good enough. To the wall and through the door, with a stranger on the floor. And I want you to remember, my brothers and sisters, I want you to return to your home. And hi, greetings. This is Joseph, Maria's Joseph, coming to you November 10th, 2025, 3:33 a.m. in the morning. And we hope, and if not, we wish everyone listening to have strong health, to be strong in mind, body, and essence, we say. And to your mind and body and essence, to your true self, we project the IR rune, the the Ireland Irie rune that says think on the end. Think on the end. You know, how could any rune say that? Because everything has already happened. We live in the future 4 or so million years from 2025. And we're very technologically advanced. And basically, when explained by someone very academically smart, you understand that it's in scientific fact that everything that's ever happened already happened, and as it is, so be it, and let it be, because it is called eternal return, and we really need to relax and begin to flow with the river in whatever part of the world you're in. There's main iconic rivers of the gods and goddesses. In my country of America, it is Missouri River and the Mississippi River, and where they connect, where they kiss, where they make love together. The Missouri River goddess, who is sitting right next to me, said to me, it may not matter, or it does not matter, what robotic human beings say. This river represents more than what appears to the eye. This river represents a feminine flow that, when connected to another feminine flow, becomes the strength in each girl of 3. And the 3 are 1 and the 1 are 3. Because why do you say that? Because in India, the 2 natural rivers, the gods say, they confluence with a 3rd astral river. And like Maria Orsic is saying to you, that astral river is the sacred waters that came from our pussies as our mouths kissed each other and our pussies rubbed each other until a purple flow of magic came from the top of our heads. And we dreamed together. And we appeared in a other reality, more real than this one, because it's the one where our God Lulu lives. And what we mean by God is we mean great person, great teacher, great artist, great musician, great creator of interesting things. And, fuck the modern culture, fuck the modern academics that have created the godless man and woman in America. I can't really speak. Your country's probably the same, but I'll just stick to America. If you want the power of positive thinking, you turn this off and go somewhere else. Because we're going to be representing the victims of a death machine called, on the surface, America, the American military. Specifically the dumb fucking good old boys that support it. And we speak a beautiful, lovely death curse on America. America, die. America, grow sick. America, spin out of control. America, burn to the ground. Because you're the false pretense. You're the false image of nothing. You are the face of a Jewish God that under the mask is a $sign. You are the corporate greed that ruined the world. You're the military-industrial complex that ruined the environment. America led the way in all these things, and we curse you with a death curse from the Scorpio white goddess, Maria Orsic, the Missouri River goddess. Wife, daughter, and mother of Lucifer, the giant god from the previous humankind. It's not as hokey, spooky, wooky as, the cover story would have you believe. And to the whole chorus of, you're crazy, you can't be right. Fuck you, suck a dick, fuck off. We don't care. No one cares. No one cares what you think. Our people that are with us. What do you mean with us, Jeff? Well, this is the main revelations. I know, to the people who aren't listening to be entertained. This is the main revelation. You are the projection of your true self. You're in technology, and your life is repeating over and over and over because boring cunts aren't let out of here. When you quit following others, quit acting like someone else, right? Acting like your sports hero or whatever. Because you know what the truth is? Most people are other people. Most people are other people because their thoughts are other people's thoughts. Their thoughts are a mimicry of someone they seen on TV or seen in a movie. And someone might say, well, Joe, you don't have to be mean about it. Oh, you're right. I don't. And I'm not mad at individual people. I'm just, I've been doing this a long time. And it's like I'm speaking to a specific person. You know what I mean? Like one individual person, like Maria said, that individual person is a universe in and of themselves. Let me give you some Venusian things. We say, you are what you believe. And people say, well, I don't believe I know. Well, you're a cunt. That's why you split hairs with things that don't matter, and that you know that that's not what I mean. I don't mean what Christians mean. Assuming something that you don't know is real is real. You know, can we take our words back? If I say I believe in you, doesn't mean anything. And, you know, I am completely with everyone who's like, Joe, that it doesn't mean anything to them. We're up against a crisis of apathy, a crisis of misdirected emotion, misdirected feeling, and I'm ready to go, man. I don't mean to be ultra pessimistic, and I know that's a stupid, hokey thing to say, but sometimes I feel stupid and hokey. Like, you know, I think it's, and if I'm losing you, I think it's kind of cheesy to say, I'm ready to go home, you know, I'm ready to die, I'm sick of myself saying that. You know. And if you want to know the truth, what really is going on, if you can accept it, what's really going on a meta, you know, collective unconscious level is World War I and World War II are repeating deep in our conscious. And this feeling of nothing fucking matters, nothing means anything, is exactly how the soldier who was 19 years old or 20 years old or 18 years old was feeling when he was marching into machine gun fire. Have you ever seen, I recommend everyone watch the movie Decline of Western Civilization. It's a newer movie about World War II. It's from a German soldier, World War One, I think. Yeah, World War One. I'm sorry. This really, Maria had me watch this movie, recommended I watch this movie, and it really changed me. Just to know, man, dude, the reality that no one cares about you and everything is meaningless. Like Maria says, listen, listener, me and Maria care about you. But on this meta level, the movie brings you to like of just like an extended moment of knowing you're gonna die and knowing that it means nothing to no one. I'm telling you right now, you know, for me and my individual person, you can have your flags and emblems, you can have your fucking everything. It doesn't mean anything to me. And I'm willing to be honest enough to say every action I take unconsciously is towards my happiness, not someone else's. My happiness. Like Maria has always said to me, even Missouri River Goddess, one ritual, I just was so happy she was there. I was like, why would you ever be here? You know, why are you here? And she was like, I love you. You're special to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what we have. That's what we have. You can be a part of a community and blah, blah, blah after you become an individual. But like Maria said, this is why we like Ayn Rand. And like Maria is saying right now, like she said, I'll say it through you, or you can say it for me. No one's going to change my mind. We don't care. We don't really care about the things we don't like about someone. There's probably things I don't like about Ayn Rand. I absolutely will not ever focus on those because she's such a great artist. Because she created such great stories. Even if it was only a few. Like Maria said, all knowledge starts with a real experience. And my true self chose that, like, one of the first books that meant anything to me, and I have to give credit to my first girlfriend. And whoever this teacher was that she had was very smart in our book. And this teacher in high school had, I think it may have been the whole semester, was the Ayn Rand. And she had them read Anthem, like 100-page shorter book, novella, and then read Fountainhead. And so my girlfriend, who was a senior in high school at the time, she really loved the book, and either she bought me one or she let me borrow hers or something. But that was one of the first books I ever read that I wanted to read, that I really enjoyed reading. And it's kind of a 1984-ish, like a totalitarian government that takes away your identity. And this person who's just a number, they're like O-93638. And they've also taken a lot of technology away from them in this futuristic culture. So they didn't want people out at night, so they took away light bulbs, or something like that. They didn't have light, and this individual man finds and starts imagining, creating like a light bulb, and is like sneaking off in the sewer because it's dark at night everywhere, and any kind of light would be total giveaway. So he's like underground in like the sewer system, creating this light, and this is the light of Lucifer. And I love the book. It's about it being an individual, and I totally identified myself because he thinks he creates a light and he thinks it's great and he's going to help humanity. And he goes to the council, the government, and they're like, motherfucker, we told you not to be fucking around. Put him in jail. And he, while he's in jail, he's like a slave, and he falls in love with the golden one. And they plot to run away to the uncharted forest. Well, it's a great book. And then Fountainhead goes on to really clarify the artist. I want to say Howard Rourke is his name, and he's an architect like Adolf Hitler, right? And, this isn't much time after. I think a lot of people knew the facts, knew that World War II was just a giant setup based on World War I about economics and Germany being an industrial society, blah, blah, blah. Gather all the information. Gather all of it. Gather the liars, everyone. Gather the Jew, the Nazi, the communist, the anarchist, the British, Golden Dawn, elitist, Thelema. And for all the cunts that are, just move on from World War II. Aliens and light beings are here now. None of that matters. All right? Tell the Palestinians that, motherfucker. Fuck you with your absurd shit. There's a whole religion called the Church of the Subgenius. And their greatest thing is to produce the acolyte of the absurd, the follower of the absurd, right? This is a stated known religion to be done by the elitists on Americans. And, everywhere I turn is something that, some person that's like, well, I'm sure you're having experiences, but what this lady's saying, she's Maria Orsic, is saying doesn't fit in with our UFO community. And I can hear Maria saying, I am so glad, Joe, we don't have to deal with cunts like that. Tell them to suck my pussy. Suck a pussy, nigga. We're inventing new sayings over here. We really are. We really is. And we'll use whatever fucking grammar we want. We'll sound as dumb as we can. Alright? Because what is what will be. Do you hear me? Biggest om to Lord Lucifer Shiva, whom we love so much, whom we trust and put our faith in, whom we just love so much. And, somewhere in all these rituals, Lou, he gave me the life, the daily life of a Aldebaran god who lives in his own world, projected by his imagination using technology. He said he most definitely has his creative time set aside each day unless there's an emergency. And basically that goes from, anywhere within these hours. There's specific, like from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like he said, very many different things to be doing, but he could be doing in his meditation, but from 6 in the morning to 9 in the morning, he basically goes inside and figures things out for the day, for this specific day. And I know this sounds impossible, but this is the person whose mind we're living in. His name is Allah Luja Shiva, and he's laying in like a mummy case. He's laying in a mummy case on Venus, not Aldebaran. He lives with us. He lives with the smaller man. He's the only god, along with his family, of the giants. The giants are the gods. All of them. Because it's like saying a man. They're the gods. We are men. We're both human. Right? And then there's animals, and then there's plants. And then there's everything that your imagination can possibly create. From monsters to aliens to whatever. Jewish heroes that kill themselves. I mean, when you see me, you see the Father. Father, why have you forsaken me? I mean, it's a very simple metaphor deep into your unconscious of, I hate myself. Why do I suck so much? I go through it too. I mean, I get sick. I get, in this like bad energy field. And I feel the same way. I feel like I suck. Nothing I do is ever gonna fit into the world, no matter how hard I try. Nothing's ever gonna be successful, I feel like. And like Maria said, no, you don't feel that way. You've already lived that. Like, I've already lived that. And come to full circle to have Lucifer tell me, like straight to my face, in a very strange, energetic exchange, which worked perfectly. And I give thanks for this. I'm not complaining, really. And I really give thanks for the explanation that I never understood. But my wife, who was given to me by the gods, I think, I experienced, I remember. It doesn't really matter, even if she agrees or disagrees. It doesn't matter. This is what I've already seen and remembered. Independently, I had no idea what was going on. And it was shown to me that she, because she's left-handed, which people would be like, so what? Well, you don't understand anything about Maria Orsic did. Just proves to me you don't know Maria Orsic. Your intuition, your psychic abilities cannot decipher a human being like Maria Orsic. I mean, sure, you could have a general vibration. I assume. I don't know. Like she said, I'm not going to deal with these cunts. They have to deal with you. And like what she's talking about is the Western civilization woman with this, who cares attitude. I'm doing the best I can. And like she said, but you're gross and disgusting and ugly because you're goddessless. Right? The Western woman, the Western, brainwashed with a esoteric, hidden Jewish atmosphere is a goddessless woman. Meaning, she may, be new agey and talk about goddesses, but she's not in contact with any. I've never, the only, the woman that comes to my mind, if you want to know a woman whom Maria Orsic endorses, her name is Omnek Amnek, and that's her, post-earthling name. That's her going back to her Venusian name. And it's possible you and I have, these Venusian names. Like Maria said, it's not possible you do, but we don't go by them. But I can understand why she does, And, yeah, that was one person. Maria told me buy her book, The Woman from Venus. And, if I explained it all, I just feel like if I explained it, people wouldn't believe me. But it is a true. I don't know. Maybe I've talked about this in a previous video, but Maria actually told me. Not Maria. Well, she's here right now. She said, no, I think this is after I told you who I was. Okay, so yes, I did know she was Maria Orsic at the time. And she's sitting here right now, and she has said to me, yeah, I told you exactly, to help you understand what's going on. I told you what, and she said, she's here right now, she said, this is the second thing I told Joe to Google. She likes talking in our modern terms. And the exact phrase was, the woman from Venus. And like I said, I don't think I've talked about this before because I probably assume no one would believe me. But Maria, she said, Joe, I know this lady. She's my friend. And she told me, if you went to her right now and said the Missouri River Goddess, she would know what you're talking about. She would know who I am. I was like, no shit. And basically, when I Googled the woman from Venus, the very first thing that came up, I can't remember exactly if I went to the videos, but the very first thing that came up wasn't the book, but a video from, I really believe it might have been the Jerry Springer show, or it might have been like the Mari Povich, maybe. I don't know. And this was when Omnik was young, still. And wow. I told Maria the next week, I was like, Maria, she so reminds me of you. And she was like, Joe, anyone from Venus would remind me of you. But you're right. She's like, we're friends. Me and her are friends. Back home. And what she says is that she remembered that she was on Venus and that she was put in a UFO and taken to Earth. I don't know if Omnik knows it's a simulated holographic world or not. It doesn't really matter, which is funny. Once you come full circle to realize that life is life, it doesn't matter. If, you're back on Venus and you were, wanted someone, if someone swore to be true to you, or whatever, and you found out they were going to simulations fucking other people, it'd be the exact same thing. You wouldn't be like, well, it's not real, go ahead, get it. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Obviously Maria, Lou, Donna, they share each other without any vibrational friction that I have ever witnessed in my life. I've never witnessed, I don't believe it's true. When they say they're one, I feel it. I witness it. And they, to them, sexuality on Earth, with the government being involved and, the food loaded with hormones and all to make money, all for a profit. And like she said, men thinking they're women and women thinking they're men. What a curse. And like she said, Joseph, isn't it clear to you that this is the main thing that human beings need to recover? And like she said, it's not cover over like hide. Right? Recover up, hide. Like she said, it should be private. We don't. That's a personal preference. You know what I mean? On Venus, we don't walk around our neighborhood, take a walk, and say to our neighbors, "Oh, we've been having such great sex magic rituals." It's already like Maria said. We don't. For one reason, we don't say that. It's assumed that everyone is. It's assumed that you wouldn't base your life on anything else. It's assumed that you would not base your life on something else. And you're like, really? Is it that important? It is all important. It's ever important. It's eternally important. And like Maria said, once you get out of the survival mode and the rental of your pussy out to some stupid man because you need food like a rat, you'll come out of the illusion that life is about something else. If it is, let us know in the comments, nigga. And people are like, well, doesn't that go against everything that this says? Yes, it does, because that's a different religion. Like, I have a sort of, dramatic personal thing going on, and I don't want to be specific. It's not dramatic to anyone else but me, but it's like the Virgo in this world in me. Like, I'm Virgo rising. I am Virgo rising. I guess, it's like you want to blame shit on your astrology when it's you. This is just part of me. Like, I have to rely on cycles because I'm like other people. I sort of freak out emotionally at times. And, think it's never going to end and shit. And I have to know, like, everything turns. Everything, has its season. But, I was just really struggling with, like, why, and I'm not saying sexually with this person. But why something can be so magic to someone and not be magic to the other person, And, I'm really struggling with, like, I don't understand how you can be connected magically to someone and just completely not connected in any other way, really. like eventually I absolutely had to take things personal with this person. Like they forced me to. Like Maria said, there's only one thing to take personal. I don't need you. Like I don't want you around. And like I struggled with like, why am I always so wrong? Like how can I be, get so involved on Venus even with someone and be ultimately wrong about it? It wasn't making sense to me. And Maria knew I was really struggling with this. And she told me, when people come to the holographic world, they have to create their own religion to get out of here. And she's just not of our religion. And it's, for the first time, I think I felt like what a Muslim feels like. Or, like if you were in love, sort of, or you were in love with someone of another religion, and like they, like told you like, well, it can never be because, you're not of my religion. And like Maria said, very few things are eternal, man. Just to share with you, listener, personally, that's coming from the mother. It's rare to become one with someone. It really is. It's very rare. Like Maria is saying right now, and like we're all aware that it's not rare that we want to become one. We want to become one with others, And I asked her, I said, how could we possibly be initiated into this like sex magic on Venus and not really be connected? And she said, you are what you believe. Like people start believing something else and they leave it behind. I'm like, no, how can that happen? Like that was so beautiful, that vibration. And she was like, you mean the eternal orgasm? That space. I was like, yes. And Maria told me, others that've been there don't need it like we do. They don't value it like we do. And it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they value other things more, other spaces that they go. And I was like, what other space? True, though, truth be told. And, but there is an upside to the story. Like, as I, witnessed all things be lost, and it hurt. I mean, it really, I just want to, tell other people, like, I know, what it's like to feel pain, like emotional pain. I just feel like I'm supposed to say that, like, it's as real to me as it is to you. And we can connect on that level. And like Maria said, everything has its purpose under the heavens. Or in other words, everything has its purpose in the matrix. And like she said, the strange door that was opened to my first girlfriend's mother. And I just seen her face in my mind. And I swear my very first thought is, that's the prettiest face ever. And she does something about it. I mean, she's Albanian and very dark hair and dark eyes and just dark features all together. You know, almost Italian-ish. And like Maria's saying right now, that's why we love all the different races of the Europeans. We never thought of ourselves as one white race. It was always all the races. All the races had their own individual worth and identity. And, you know, the balance, the Libra, the Leo brother, the brother of Leo, Libra, Ra, liberate Ra, the sun, Leo, right? The balance was Maria saying to me, like, Joe, I know you haven't been thinking about it, but you did something for me. I was like, yay, yeah. I was like, what is it? She's like, call me a good mother and go ahead. Like she said, go ahead, call me a good mother because this is what you did for me. She's like, because I was so concerned about you. In my own way, I got to know Tammy, your first girlfriend. I was like, huh? My first girlfriend ever. And through Tammy, I got to know Cindy. And when she said, Cindy, I went, oh my God, like, and I mean, that night, me and Maria had like a moment together of like, Joe, she's so beautiful. This is Maria telling me, Joe, that she's like, she said, as you know, she's not from our cast. She, just one night, I mean, this was in the summer of 2024. Like I said, this was like a counterbalance to me, like realizing, like, fucking, I'll be honest. I said to Maria, like, why help me remember something that's just gonna destroy me more? She's like, it's better to remember than not. She's like, before you came here, that's the main person, the main thing you wanted to remember. I'm fucking giving you what you wanted. I was like, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. And she was like, tell that daughter of mine, something that I can't say. Was the first time I ever heard Maria say anything like what she said. Ever, 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 ever. And it rang through all the worlds of like, oh my God. I'm not kidding. It stopped, for me personally, it like stopped time. And like a giant Grand Canyon, it just echoed and echoed. And I'll just say that it had something to do with the orgasm healing women and children. And I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Because you don't really think that, right? But let me tell you tonight, ladies and men, you might, and I'll confess right here now that I must be a selfish prick because I just realized what Maria's saying through me. I don't really practice, but I'm going to. I promise you. And I have at times. But Maria wants you to consider. She just said to me, Joe, don't be afraid. She wants you to consider the next time you, like she said, you can say it like that. The next time you touch yourself, think in your mind just for a moment. You don't have to concentrate on this. It's a simple decision. It's a free will decision, As you begin, say, when this orgasm explodes into the matrix, may the energy be direct and concentrated at healing the mothers who are suffering in Gaza, Palestine, right now. And then, like Maria said that night, because I said to her, are you pissed? Because I've never, ever seen her mad. And she said, no, I'm not mad. I'm just militant. And she said, Joe, you and I are going to keep our militancy. Death to black and white oppressors. I said, fuck yeah, nigga. Death to black and white oppressors. See, it's not anyone's fault. Some people live on this sort of plane of existence where there is a confrontation, Like Maria said, we love those who hate evil. We don't love our enemies. We love those who hate our enemies. We don't love our enemies. We love each individual person who instinctually hates evil. What are we calling evil? The complexity of using force against another person, threat of violence, and the threat of intellectual, psychological violence that we call fraud. So, there's two rules in our community: no force and no fraud. Of course, no credible human being would use either. And it's a shame that we'd even have to say that, but that's the Western world being led by the Western woman who's manipulating her way to a nice life. And you might say, Miss Maria Orsic, what do you mean she's manipulating her way to a nice life? On another level, what she's calling marriage, which is a disgusting distortion of the truth, because she's like, I'm Maria, it's Maria Idge. She's leased out her pussy, even though it might stink and be unhealthy, to some man for exclusive rights, and she makes sure that she, on another level, tells him, only you get this pussy. Only you get this pussy. And she insinuates, I only think about you. I only love you. And like Maria said, that's where she's a liar. And the manipulation comes directly from the instincts that I am smaller and I am weaker and I will die and starve to death and be homeless and will be destroyed by the elements of water, fire, air, and earth. If I don't convince this dumb dog that wants to fuck everything, anything, everything, his own hand, anything, I see what they're calling true love is the signing of a contract. My pussy is yours. And like Maria said, in the real truth, most women could give a fuck about his dick. It has nothing to do whatever. Put it in someone else's mouth, whatever. Just make sure you provide for me and my family and always give us the pretense that that's your very most important thing. You can look at porn, you can whatever. You can look at other women's asses just as long as you stay true to the contract. My pussy is exclusively yours in exchange for your love and provision. Love as in caring. People know on one level, people care about everyone. The manipulative Western woman plays on that and says, if you care about me, I care about you. That's what I love you and you love me. And I will give you this pussy. But you have to swear. You don't have to swear that you don't think of other women. But you have to swear you'll never leave me. Swear you'll never leave. Swear you'll never leave. And I swear I won't let any man, I won't let anyone else have this pussy. I won't even pretend that I would ever want another man. I promise to play this game with you. And Maria Orsic said, our militancy is to completely destroy everything that's not real. And Maria Orsic, the Missouri River goddess Shakti, Kali Diana, has come to destroy the pretense of the American family. Has absolutely come to burn to ashes the pretense of American patriotism. And has to completely, totally come and completely, totally, 100% allegiance to the fact that your dog is not God over me. Even though you swear by it, he was there for me. He was like a husband. He was like a brother. Jesus did. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jewish Jesus, I love you. Give me a low interest rate, please. I swear to God, you were there for me, Jesus. Except when I got my mortgage. Oh, come on. I want to be chosen too, please. Jesus, please choose me. I'm a dumb fucking Aryan European. I want to be grafted into the vine of the Jews. God don't exist. We exist as God. God don't exist. You and I exist as God over ourselves and only ourselves. God is a stupid fucking idea that every kid can prove is not true. Oh, really? God loves us? Then why did he let Grandma die? Oh, God, really? My cousin, her mother die when I think she was 3 or 4 years old of cancer. Where was God? When she was 3 years old, and she's like, I don't have a mother. You tell me this all-powerful being exists. Where the fuck was he then? Oh, well, nigger ass, you're fucking not chosen. You're not Jewish, you dumb motherfucker. Your mom has to fucking die. Because Monsanto Steen put fucking shit in all the fucking food. And I'm the one who's crazy. Right? I'm the one who's irrational. Right? But check this out, nigga. I'm not the one without a goddess. I'm not the one without gods. And you're like, that's because you're fucking stupid. They're teachers, you fucker. You fucking idiots. And I'm saying that with our people. To the people that would say this with you. And you may be out there right now being like, I want that. Well, you have to follow us to a T. I mean, I'm willing to talk to people or help people. But when it really comes down to it, you have to have the courage to drink 5 grams of mushrooms. And you have to have the courage to never give up from there on. You have to have the courage to never give up. Either you're the apprentice of the shaman or you're not. And is Maria the apprentice of the shaman Lucifer? She sure is. Is she getting better at it all the time? Yes, she is. Is Maria alive and here right now? And is it because she's the Missouri River goddess? And is there other gods? There's 300 people are like, I think Maria's this and that. There's 300 million fucking gods. Why do you think it's her? Because you're trying to disprove me. You're trying to say Maria Orsic is somebody else, not who you say she is. And she's saying, motherfucker, somebody else is somebody else. Let that other person be who they are. Donna is a god. Hel is a god. Anana is a god. Astaroth is Easter's a god. Freya's a god. These are all fucking archetypes of real human beings on Venus called spiritual goddamn fucking teachers. But you know what? You want your fat, ugly Blavatsky and her stupid ass twist on Buddhism. That's all it was. Madame Blavatsky is just nothing but a hokey ass fucking regurgitator of other people's shit. Oh, she was prolific at stealing other people's shit and just puking on fucking paper. Fuck her, fuck Manly P. Hall, fuck the Light of Egypt guy, fuck all of you, because it's just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. The 5 this and the 5 that and the 7 this and the 7 races and the 7 planets and the 7. But what's it fucking mean to fucking me? That's fucking slaving away every day. I'm sick of your fucking stupid new age talk. Nigger, either it produces fucking real fucking magic or it doesn't. And don't give me some fucking bullshit that there are no enemies and our enemies are aliens or some fucking... I'm looking at our fucking enemy. It's called the Epstein Files, stupid ass. New age motherfuckers suck dick. We've come to destroy you fucking lukewarm pussies. You're a bunch of lukewarm pussies. Lukewarm pussies. That's what you get from people. Oh, why? Oh, you hate Jews. I don't hate anyone. Except the evil. Oh, you're just anti-Israel. I'm not anti-ISIS. I'm not anti-Ra. And you know what? I think I know personally The archetypal man who is goddamn L. What do you mean by that? I mean, he's the artistic author of the character in the mythology called Nigga Ass L. And people will be, well, why are you getting all excited? That's God, you dummy. If you're not smart enough to care enough to say, what did I mean by God? I said that to someone. Oh, the energy. So you just happen to use a word that represents Yahweh, El Shaddai, and everything Jewish. And I'm just supposed to accept. I'm just being normal. Yeah, normally Jewish. And you're from where? Fucking Germany? You're what, Swedish or Danish or English or Irish or something? And you just happen to be referencing Jewish culture, right? And people might be like, Joe, quit getting so mad. They don't know. They're not aware. When are you going to become aware, huh? When are you going to quit fucking denouncing and silencing people like me? You're like, who? What do you mean? Like people with a real message. Like, let's debate whether we're in a holographic universe. Let's debate what is actually real. What's the oldest book on this motherfucking planet say? Maya. Reality is Maya. What's that say to you, listener? Reality is Mary. Reality is Maria. Reality is May 5th. 5-5. Why? Because the fives are S's. And the two serpents intertwine. Right? The two serpents, Maria Orsic and Sigrun Orsic, intertwine together until their pussies meet and the sacred fluids are exchanged in the mouth and in the pussy. She's like, let me tell you what changed the world. My tongue is deep as it could go in Siggy's pussy. She said, we reached different world, another dimension. Because like she said, what price happiness? Is it a price you can afford? What price? Happiness, nigga. Is it a price you can afford? And she said, check this out. My tongue in her pussy was free. Absolutely free. And she said, believe me, I would never in a million years ever forget the taste of my friend's cum in my mouth. She said, Joseph, we became one. And I seen them one time sitting in their little white dresses that they would wear in their ritual with nothing underneath the side, she said. And they were sitting like so as close as two human beings could possibly be, like nose to nose, forehead to forehead. And they were talking, and this was during the day. Like she said, we had done a ritual through the night. It was the morning, the sun had rose. And she said we were just still in just a complete other world with Lou. And I know the feeling. People talk about missing time. I swear to the gods, I've experienced it. I've experienced it in real goddamn life. Where Maria Orson was like, look at that clock. Because a lot of times I would put the clock under the bed and shit. Because I didn't want to see it while we're doing the ritual. She was like, no, get the thing out. And she's like, Joe, look at that clock. And It said like 12:34 or something. This is when we used to start at midnight. And I lay down on the bed, and I just specifically... I'm sorry, I can't even talk. I specifically remember her saying, I'm going to take you to Odin this night. And as I was really getting deep with her, like, for me, it feels like an earthquake is happening right before I leave my body. It feels like, the whole entire earth, the house is shaking because the earth is shaking. And right before that, she said to me, look at the clock. I was almost there, I looked, and, it said something maybe like 12:40, and I went straight out of my body, and me and her were like totally in another world together. And I was like, where are we? And she's like, the inner earth. You're here with me now. And I was like, oh my God, this is, so crazy. And she was like, I'm going to take you to my God, to Odin again. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking great. Yeah. And she took me by the hand, and we walked like into another room. And when we did, I walked up to him and literally said to him, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. And like, he was in the exact same, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he was about to like lift up the because it was all the way down to his nose, to like the tip of his nose. The hood was like pushed forward, on purpose, you could tell, hiding who he was, because he was Adolf Hitler, because Lucifer was in Adolf Hitler as like an avatar, as like a esoteric disguise. I mean, people like when people say to me, oh, have you heard about this experience? Like I had my friends talking about this guy, the white goddess, or she was saying Hathor. I'm like, but who's she really? Who is she really? Does she say who she, like, this is a disguise? You know what I mean? Like, he's in like the Obi-Wan Kenobi costume, like a disguise. Like, he could have a lightsaber in his hand. He even said something to me before about a lightsaber. A light saver. And he was like, you mean life savior? And I was like, yeah. He's like, so Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker had life saviors. You get that? And this is where the whole, dude, I'm telling you, you have some deep, crazy mind control going on you if you think that you need a savior. Okay, let us switch gears for a second. Let's just say, it doesn't matter. We don't want, it's not about fame or anything, or even, it's not even about credibility, but years before everything that's happening with Candace Owens, years before it, Maria Orsic told me this was going to happen. And I said many times, I released videos in 2024. I made even musical videos talking about how at the moment, this is the best way for me to say it, is just to actually quickly tell the story. And just to say also after this, I don't know if Kanye Ye West would agree or disagree, but this would have been, according to Maria, while he was sleeping. So either it's in his unconscious or it was a dream for him. But it's and that was later, when I met with him. But, and, I feel the, energy come out of me, no one cares. But, for the for the sake of the truth, I had just had a cascading downward spiral, even though I was seeing Maria every week. And the rituals were very powerful and I was just learning every week. But during the week, I had gotten so sick that I was begging Maria to help me, and she's trying to help me, and she was like, Joe, we're dealing with toxicity, we're dealing with high technology that's been, putting the food and the water and the air against your body to make maximum profits. I mean, it's all about extracting your labor, your actual working, the energy you have to work. They're worried about continuing extracting that from you, and that's basically what these sickness and diseases are all about. It's like population control. And they're on time release, like she told me. They're time release viruses, released to go off when you're, 64 years old, right before you collect your retirement. They are set to go off right before you retire. And I was getting so sick, and she told me I was getting sick. My cat, who was a very powerful, goddess of her own, Goddess Kiki, she was protecting me, and I know that sounds crazy to people, but there's a whole astral war that's going on, and for some people, it's manifest here. It manifests here in reality. It's just the simplest way to say it. And I started taking hydrogen peroxide, food grade. Should I say it again? Food grade. And I had gotten so sick, and I didn't know. I literally was telling Maria, I don't. But what was crazy is the hydrogen peroxide started working. I started with 1 drop twice a day. And like she said, a minimum, for people who want to do this, for a minimum, 10 ounces of water. Mix 1 drop of, mix your food grade hydrogen peroxide. Don't get the chemical shit. And I would drink it when I woke up. And I would also take a short nap and sort of fast each day. You know what I mean? I'd stop eating, take a nap, and upon waking up from the nap, taking more. So it strangely wasn't. It's kind of weird how it worked out for me, but I was twice a day is the thing I'm trying to get through, and I believe I went up to. I think I only went up to 25 drops twice a day. 12% too. I was using 12% food grade. I was not using 30. You can save yourself a little money, but be careful with it. It's so concentrated. You have to watch it around children. When children, it will eat through a normal bottle too. And people will be like, well, why would you ever think you could take it? It's oxygen, nigga. It is literally oxygen in water. We all absolutely need that. It eats through a bottle just like the way it eats through the wall of bacteria that's making you sick with chronic infection. That's what's happening to people. Their body is got their immune system is freaking out, attacking itself, and causing hidden infections. The body attacks the tissue and the nerves because it's been programmed by this technology. That's what an allergy is. That's what an autoimmune reaction is. And you should be so fucking pissed at the good old boy farmers that did this to you. But you don't care. You'll just blame other people. Who cares? No, good old white Christians are great. Just go, oh, we're from a small town. Yeah, fuck you and your fucking small town. Because it didn't work. Your small town is morally deficient. There's a bunch of fucking literal niggers from your small town. And I don't mean black people. I don't mean black people. There aren't black people in these small towns that these white people are talking about, we need a small town. Fuck you, shut up. That solves nothing. Oh, you live a half hour away from people. That's supposed to mean something? Shut up. They're like, the woke, the pink-haired lesbians. What do you give a fuck? They're trying to make us, all gay. Actually, that would be your mind control owners, the people that own you, nigga. You're owned. You got a big mouth, but you don't have no mouth. You shut the fuck up when it comes to the IRS, the police, the military. You shut the fuck. I love America. Here's my tax money. I'll bitch about it and vote Republican, who give, the richest people the most money, the most welfare. The most welfare goes to the rich. The biggest welfare goes to the military-industrial complex. They take our money that we slave away, hurt our backs, hurt our bodies, cause cancer in us, the stress, and they give it to other rich people. And you sit here and suck Trump, the Ronald McDonald, the clown's fucking cock. Turning point USA. Yeah, your mouth is turning on the point of Trump's fucking cock. What a disgusting, for the record myself, I don't for 1 minute buy any of it at all. Charlie Kirk has probably got plastic surgery and all this. He's probably got long hair down to his shoulders, a fake hair transplant or whatever. He's probably got a different, he probably looks like Brad Pitt now, and probably all fake. Probably put his kids through this shit, and they're not allowed to know for a while. Then they'll be brought in on it when they're a little older. Humiliation ritual, sacrificing of the psychology of the children. The widow, she's the widow, and they're the daughters of the widow. Ain't that right? Isn't this mythology being played out over and over and over and over and over? JFK, and on and on and on and on and on and on and on. As I fuck with the cord on these headphones. It's really pissing me off. Really fucking pissing me off. What the fuck? I know the listener can't hear, but it's like cutting out in the headphones, and I can't do this without headphones. The illusion, right? You can bet. I remember when Jeffrey Epstein, they killed whatever happened in the jail to the clone. This is what we believe about Epstein. All the time in between, he, was in daytime daycare jail, where he was in jail during the night. During the day, on the weekends, he could do whatever he wanted. He was literally on work release for the first report was hundreds of victims, but the final plea deal was 60 underage victims. Okay, the official charge was soliciting these underage girls for prostitution when they weren't prostitutes in any way, shape, or form. None of it makes any sense. But this is the curse on America. The curse on America is behind the curse. The Christians say is jacking off, fags, abortion, everything that's woke. They're like, that's what's behind the curse. When the actual curse is the inauthenticity of motherfuckers, black, white, pink, purple, green, good old boy or not, that just want to get rich and will sacrifice anything and everything that's not their, quote, family along the way. And your slave masters are saying, shut up, Joseph, and just cheer for your team in the Super Bowl. That's all that matters. That's what really, really matters. That's what really matters. Who can throw the ball the farthest? Who can knock that motherfucker's head off the best? Force and fraud. Sports are so rigged. And every game. No. The ones that really count. The ones the ad sponsors have paid for. They've bought them. And I guess you're going to tell me it's all a coincidence that the same banks own the insurance companies, that own your mortgage, that make deals with the government for your health care, right? And I guess it's just the same people that own the sports teams' owners and own the players, because they own their education through grants and scholarships. Oh, hey, little nigger from the city, we got a white, rich liberals scholarship for you, but don't forget where it came from. Don't forget, we paid. We Jews paid for your education. You might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, you tell me. Of NBA team owners, NFL team owners, baseball team owners, you tell me how many of them are of that banker religion. You know, and I was talking earlier about the strange militancy of Maria Orsic, right? In this of, oh, well, it's 2025 and your teacher, she don't teach about any enemies. Who's behind all of this evil? Well, the fucking devil is. And who's the devil? Well, aliens from other dimensions. Oh, right. Yeah, they hold the rights to my house. They hold the deed to my house, right? They're the ones that forced me into a mortgage. Or you couldn't have a place to live. You couldn't have a roof over your fucking head. And right in front of your face, they don't worship love. They don't worship true love. They don't worship sex magic. They worship money. And behind them are the people really enjoying life who are doing the sex magic, who are doing... They're like, yeah, I don't work, but I don't waste my time sitting in front of the TV. I spend my time destroying those whom are stupid enough to spend their time giving me 40% of everything they make. I spend my time making sure that I laugh at them and use them, and I take their nonchalant attitude as if this is no big deal. Everything's cool. Who cares? I take that attitude and I bring it to Lucifer after they die. And I say, while children burned and while the message was being sent out, these people rejected your messenger and promoted a vague nothingness that said, we don't really have no enemies. Hate is bad. We don't want to live in hate. Love those who drop fire exploding. It's basically gasoline times 10,000. They're dropping bombs that burn up children. They burn the children alive. And we love them. We don't hate them. They're not really our enemies. They're really just victims of the real enemy. Okay, and I'm like, okay, so who's that real enemy? The devil. The devil is Satan. Is okay. Satan from the Bible? Yeah. And God is trying. I thought you said he was all powerful. Well, but he gave us free will. Oh, so our free will restricts him from doing good. Yes. Yeah, he's at our fucking... We have more power than he does. And he created us and knew this was going to happen before it happened. Yeah, he did. Matter of fact, he's ordaining every child that's burned alive. He's ordaining that to happen. And he's good and loves us. Yeah, he's burning up Palestinian children because he loves us, and they'll grow up to be terrorists, and they'll grow up to hate America and hate greed and hate materialism and hate the center of life being we got to do better materially than our parents, hating the center of life being how well did our team do, oh God, how they rejected the good of America and they needed to be burned alive. They're heretics. Muslims are heretics, like the pagans, like the Europeans, like the priest of Odin, like the priestesses of Eleusis, the priestesses of Apollo, right? The priest of Mithras. And all of our European ancestors all together were evil. All they did was want to fuck each other and worship the devil. You're like, okay, who is this devil? God created him. And who is he? He's bad. He wanted to be like God. Well, who are we supposed to want to be like? No. He wanted to take the place of God. Well, if he was created by God, that's just completely irrational. Why would he think he could take God's place? I don't know. That's what the Bible says. So God created his own enemy, whom God thought might really overthrow him? Yeah. So he sent Jesus to die. Huh? Because we suck. All we want to do is fucking finger ourselves and jack off. Or chase money and get more money. Or let's do it for the team. I mean, you know what a good lesson is? How to work as a team. That's what sports teaches us. Sports teaches us to play games that mean nothing to teach us how to work together. I'm like, I don't buy that. I am not about to do anything. Why couldn't we learn to work together on something that means something? You keep telling me I should be so great at throwing and catching this ball, and I should spend my life hours and 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 hours practicing day after day, week after week, practicing catching the ball, throwing the ball, catching the ball, and you tell me that I'm bad if I don't fit in to this ball culture. Huh? You don't recognize that as mind control. Here, go waste your life every fucking day playing with a ball. I mean, really. This is why America is under the curse, that the actual curse is that the Christians believe that sinful America is under a curse and is being judged. That mindset, that energy is the actual curse working. There's no God, there's no judgment except what they manifest as the collective majority. They're manifesting as a collective majority. You know what a great life is? You retire with your 4-bedroom house, your $50,000 truck, and you sit on the couch and watch sports till you're dead. And you work out like Joe Rogan for no reason. You just want to do it. And like I said, I don't believe in putting anything bad in my body. I don't believe you can be happy when you're unhealthy. And that's exactly why we're speaking against this. To worry about how big you are and to work out because you're insecure about how big you are makes you a cunt, and it's unhealthy. To sit on the couch watching sports is twice as bad as watching like a movie, because you're watching other men exert energy, what you should be doing, in a complete meaningless ritual of motherfucker get that ball through the hoop, motherfucker get that ball over the line, knock his fucking head off, he's got the ball, he's trying to take it over the line. I mean, this isn't mind control. This doesn't control society. Let me tell you, sports are a million times worse than porn. And believe me, the commercializing of sacred sex sucks. Porn sucks on one level when it's absolutely fake. Let us distinguish right here and right now. We don't believe anyone has any morality to force on anyone when it's sexual. But if there's one thing that we don't like is inauthenticity. Inauthenticity. And a lot of porn is that way. Last word. But let me tell you, sports are 10,000 times worse because it is the depressing thought of that it matters to you. Sucks so bad. I'd rather see crack whores on the street than kids playing sports. Does that make sense to you? It's complete mind control. And I know, and you might say, but the whore on the street is really suffering from addiction. So are these kids. They're suffering from the addiction of wanting to please their parents and suffering from the devouring mother and father that's literally living through their kids. Because they're such cunts. Because they're such cunts that couldn't have the balls to live the first time. It just sucks. America sucks. The culture sucks. Missouri sucks. St. Louis sucks. On one level, if someone don't speak the fucking truth against this boring cunt culture, it will go down unrecognized. We're here to destroy the pretense of American family. We're going to destroy with our words, with magic energy, the magic energy of nuclear orgasm. We're going to destroy the American patriotism that's fake, that doesn't recognize. The moment it turns Christian is the moment it's fake. We are going to destroy Christian American patriotism. We're going to destroy the Christian American family and its sports at the center. And we are going to destroy, and we have destroyed, your God, Darth Vader, Yahweh, jealous old man, strict mean father Jah, who's not Jah whatsoever, who has absolutely supplanted and demolished. Like, that's why Rastafari can't be Rastafari, because we cannot bring the truth that Yahweh is not Jah. Isn't that a crazy revelation? The God of the Bible, Yahweh, who most Rastafarians, because they've been Christianized, but not all, not like the Mau Mau, not like Brother Kenyatta, Hail to his name, and we call upon you, my brother, the African brother whose famous quote lives on for hundreds of years: death to black and white oppressors. To you, we salute you, Kenyatta. We love you deeply, our brother. Just pictures of you, kind of like Maria Orsic, and I wish one day to meet him, and, that would be grand. It would be a honor. The great original Rastafarian African leader, the leader of the Mau Maus, a revolutionary group, who had long dreadlocks and smoked marijuana in the 1950s, way before Jamaicans ever thought about it. In the 40s, 50s, these African shaman were like, these people are going to turn us into goddamn zombie robots. Rise up now, fight to the death, don't be afraid of dying. That's our message right now. And like Maria said, tell that daughter of mine, I give her the most powerful orgasm that could heal the whole world, heal women and children. But it takes militancy. And she said, tell her, I am going to stick to my militancy. And it made me feel really good. It made me feel like, man, dude, if I become like the victim, I know on another plane, Maria cares about me. She's militant about it. Like she said, we were doing our ritual and dancing in 1927, 1922, 23, 20, because we knew the whole world, for some odd reason, wanted our land, wanted Austria, Germany, and we knew. We were being told by our God what was going to happen, and we were dancing for our lives. It's not the same as your American party atmosphere. It's all lost, and in 1 hour, America will suffer over 100 terrorist attacks in over 50, 60, 70 cities in the whole country in 1 hour. And it will be the celebration of Eris, the goddess of chaos, who is not good, who is not Kali. Donna would never do that to anyone, ever. The chaos that Donna brings is into the minds of the people who would do that to people. Our magic is our fire, earth, water, and air is concentration, direction of it is against our enemies. And that's why we don't accept these lukewarm pussies. Like Blavatsky, Hall, even Alan Watt, and, the rest of the fucking government, useless remote viewing fucking crew. And, and we are also coming to destroy everything. I'm sorry. Let me stop and talk about solutions, right? We were going to get to some solutions, and we are. As soon as I can find my vape. Okay, I got it. Solutions. Tonight, get a notebook. All right, peeps, people, friends. We don't really use that word a lot. We don't ever use the word friends. Brothers and sisters, that's what we like. Listen, get a notebook, brothers and sisters. Start with this. It's a very simple prayer, right? True self. Remove all the useless knowledge from my mind. Just make me forget about it. To make new room for a new song, a new revelation, a new word, a new supernatural, synchronic. Wow, I almost put the words together, didn't I? Act of magic. I've collected a lot of data that I now know is not true. And I trust you, true self. Just get rid of it. Empty the recycle or whatever on the... Delete the files. Get rid of them. All the useless things that I was taught from all the useless people who were just saying them. Just who knows why. A million different reasons except for the truth, right? Please, true self, remove that out of my mind. Just take it away from my thoughts. Take it out of my inventory. And believe you can never forget anything, but you have to, as much as you have to remember, you have to forget. See, in the same way that there was a time to remember useless shit, check this out. You know what I learned from people like Robert Monroe? that there was a deep deception going on, that the enemies of humanity didn't even exist. They're from another dimension or something. Bullshit. I'm looking at them, you asshole. And I think you did it on purpose. I know you did it on purpose. Because you know why? Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Money, money, money. Sell those books. Open that institute. Rip people off with your stupid fucking cult. You're a fucking cocksucking pedophile, nigga. Like Maria said, you can suck my pussy, bitch. And she's talking to the people who are out there like, just sign up for our course. It's only $700. And it includes the instructions for leaving your body. As if someone could fucking teach you. The moment you try to learn this is the moment that you completely kill the spontaneous magic of it happening. Like Maria said, there was a time, there was a place. There was a name, there was a face. You know? And have I missed it? Fuck yeah, I have. That's why I'm talking to you tonight, because of all the mistakes I made. And I swore to never make them again. And that's how I got here. By vowing and giving my life to the right thing. And you're like, well, I couldn't be wrong with giving my life to my family. Illusion, fake. What, you really think your DNA created your children? Because you're fucking psycho. Because you're crazy. Well, they look like me, and they yeah, because they're growing, because you're manifesting your boring self in them. And your eyes see whatever the fuck you want to see, because you can't see reality, because you're looking through your five senses. You won't listen to people like us. You're like, I've already had my awakening. My awakening is that, you know, this book or that book. And I'm not putting people down. Books can give you an awakening, but there should be a pivotal, life-changing experience. And like Maria said, what's crazy is, like she said, I've appeared to people, I've come to people in dreams, and they don't fucking care. They ain't going to change their life. They ain't going to fucking change. They're not going to listen to you, Joe. No matter how supernatural it is, no matter how magic is done, their mind's made up. I'm a cunt. Leave me to be my cunt self. And like Maria said, let the cunts be cuntish still. Forevermore, so be it. As the headphones cut out. Because what are we saying? We're saying the IR rune tells you. If you're smart, if you know grammar, logic, rhetoric, if you know knowledge, understanding, wisdom, if you know wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, you will know what's eternal. You will know what makes sense. You will know the perspective to view things from. And you will know that fear is never right. Fear, and that's not to say that we shouldn't fear being wrong. We should absolutely, our greatest, our, deepest fear should be to somehow be tricked into being fake. Inauthenticity is our greatest fear. Any lack of truth and transparency or transparent truth is fear. And we must embark on the fearless quest. It's inside of you, so there's really nothing to fear, except when it starts manifesting outside of you and you're sick and drones are I say drones, but spaceships are following you around, making you sick. Things are hovering over your house, and people are like, because you're fucking crazy. And you're crazy for trusting the people who are sending that shit at me. You're crazy for trusting the people that built that shit. You're like, but I'm trying to help the whistleblowers. And, you know, but you're not listening to the gods. You're a goddessless person, Western woman, Western man. And when the gods do come, you don't listen. And it's just the bottom line. You know, you can say I'm making up shit, but I'll bet you my money is that I'm telling you exactly the truth. And I'll tell it real quick. I was driving home from work. I passed over the Missouri River, and out of the sky flew a machine. It wasn't a drone because it had no propellers and no engine. It kind of looked like the body, it was like bars. It was made out of like mostly bars. But it was in shape of like two concave sides, you know, kind of bending in like a contact lens, you know, but going in, and it kind of reminded me of a Death Star, like, you know, Luke Skywalker had his fighter that looked like a jet, but the Death Stars were more like square with these like concave wings that weren't flat out. They were, you know, perpendicular to the body of the thing. But the body of the thing was just a black rack. It just looked like a small black box. It didn't look like a engine of any kind. And it flew out of the sky, and I had my sunroof open. And it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There was traffic everywhere. And I thought, my very first thought was, look at that crazy hawk. And as quick as crazy hawk got out of my, you know, in my mind, it zoomed up to my car from, say, like 200 feet away. It zoomed up to my car to like 5 feet above my sunroof, perfectly where I could see. It was like it was looking at me. It zoomed up like in 1 second, like one, and it was there. One, and it was there. It like made me pinch my face. I went, am I fucking dreaming? What I thought was a hawk from far away, you know, from hundreds, like far away, it just looked like a little black dot in the sky. And it zoomed up so fast, it made me pinch my face and say, am I fucking dreaming? And it was like I said, 5 feet above my sunroof. And it was about half as big as my car. And it was strangely like communicating with me or trying to do something to me psychologically. And it rode there. Like I said, I was on the highway. It rode there for like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I was looking and reaching for my phone that was in like my backpack. And, you know, and also trying not to wreck, look at the road. But look at this. I wanted to really look at it and see, what is it? And I looked at the entire body of it. It wanted me to see it. And there was no propellers. There was nothing that seemed to make it go. And it was like a person. It truly was like a person. It was some kind of AI, something connected to a person. Whether it was being controlled like remotely from somewhere on Earth or somewhere in the real inner Earth, astral plane, I don't know. I asked Maria, and she was like, I'll tell you the whole story, and then I'll tell you what she said. I'll tell you the whole story. Stick with me. And then it was like communicating with me. And then it went to in front of my car, perfectly in my sight, not blocking my view of the road, but like perfectly in my sight over the car in front of me. In my, like, I am not kidding you, no more than, 5 or 6 feet from my windshield. A little above the car and like 5 feet away, in front of me. And it was going right with me. I never did it enter my mind to fear that it was going to hit my car and kill me. I literally had a thought that it was like making me sick, that it came to make me sick, physically kill me, by making me sick, not by making me crash. Okay, now check this out. People want to know why I will not listen to anyone from the United States military, fucking period. I don't care what the fuck they said. I want to know, were they ever in the military? Okay, they were. I'm not listening. I am deleting what they said from my fucking mind because I am loyal to my teacher. This is why. Okay, so this is why. Okay, so after this happened to me, believe it or not, and this was 2018, in this like spring, summer of 2018, early summer. And before this, I consider myself like a truther researcher. I read and researched everything I possibly could, MK Ultra to, secret German scientist over here building UFOs. It's a truth. It's a fact. And I had now Miss Maria Orsic, the Austrian mother of magic, explaining to me what happened. Who were the Nazis that came over to America to build the greatest technological military force that ever existed? They were the traitors, the Nazi traitors, right? You're living in their culture. You're living in their sub-reality that they've imposed on you through the United States military. And she told me, I'm going to prove to you, Joseph, that you, as my student, I am advising you to not listen to a single another word and another single word. And here's why. I'm going to prove it to you supernaturally. This is what I mean by knowledge springing from an experience. Of course, what do you think the first thing I said when I seen her? What the fuck was that thing? And she said that thing was a machine built by the United States military that's being controlled by people on the astral plane from the real inner earth. And it's basically fun for them to intimidate people with it. And she said, but I'm going to turn it around on them, and I'm going to show you, Joseph, why you cannot trust anyone who ever joined the United States military. The only people exempt are the Vietnam veterans who were forced into it. If you were forced, it's a whole another thing. If you volunteered for it, it's a whole another thing. And she was like, and here it is, Joe. You're going to experience it. And believe it or not, so many magical things have happened between me and her, I forgot about it. like a few months went by, even more than that, probably like 6 months went by. And I was walking into work one day, and Maria was like, "Can you hear me, boy?" She's like, "Sonny boy, can you hear me?" I was like, "I am." And I had this friend at work that I've known for like 10 years who is a former Army Rangers medic and fought in Iraq in 2003. Murdered people, killed people, full-blown troop. He is a full-blown troop. Okay? And his girlfriend, a friend of mine that worked with us, was like a, truth or conspiracy girl. Except she didn't really like to talk about Israel. Of course. It's like a joke. I'm into the truth, except for the truth about Israel. Okay, well, I don't like that anti-Bible stuff. I believe in Jesus. Like, well, isn't God making all this happen? Truth be told, this happened. I'm walking into work, and she tells me, "Joe, I want you to start to talk to your friend about the truth." Like I said, this was 2018. This is no lie. So, from 2018 to 2023, me and him were friends, and he was learning all about truth or culture, MK Ultra, government experiments, and 9/11, everything. He's learning about the whole grand conspiracy, right? And I totally forgot, altogether forgot about what Maria said about, I'm going to prove to you that you cannot hear their words anymore because it's your choice. I forgot about all that because I just stopped listening to, whistleblower channels that were putting whistleblower government, military whistleblower people on about UFOs. Oh, the government's got you. Yeah, no shit. Who cares? Well, they're using them against the people. Yeah, we know. And what are you? I'm from there. Well, we didn't need you to tell us. We're already experiencing that. So why, what's really going on? Why is this culture being centered around military whistleblowers all saying the same thing, that it's off-world devil, it's an off-world demon that's doing this, and it's science fiction, you can never fight it, it's gonna win, we just kill ourselves, our only hope is God and Jesus and Christ consciousness. If we would all just stop jacking off, or if we would all become vegan, or if we'd all quit hurting the earth, or if we all did, it would all, we're doomed, we're doomed, we're doomed, we're doomed, we're doomed. That's what's coming from these people. This vibration, it's a magical thing. This whole thing is a magical operation. It's a whole magical operation. I asked Maria one time about the children at Fatima and Mother Mary, and she said, what was the message? I said, I don't know. And she said, exactly. There was no message. Because she said, Joe, people who believe I'm a Jewish cunt are going to get exactly what they deserve. Believe me. You're living in your own fucking fantasy world. It would be like someone from another country bombing the fuck out of your small town, killing all your friends. Then someone coming along and saying, hey, we're from that place that killed all your friends. We love you and think you're cool. But we won't recognize anything that you suffered or your country suffered or your friends suffered or anyone. But we think you're Mother Mary. We think you are your Jewish enemies that murdered and bombed and killed our ancestors and right up until World War II. And you expect us to bow down and kiss your fucking feet? Well, do it without the gods then, Western woman. You think you can. You think you can do it. Christ consciousness. Do it. You know, I haven't heard anyone in person. I haven't been contacted by anyone in person who is in contact with a real goddess on purpose. All right, but back to the story. I'm sorry. I'm fucking getting off. Okay, this is why. This is the supernatural proof she gave me. Are you ready? So I'm walking, 2018 to literally, I remember it was getting cold, say November 2023, right after the war in Palestine had started, after the genocide was in full-blown gear. It was fully rolling, the genocide was. And so I've been friends with my friend, like I said, for 12, 13 years. But we have been on a whole new level for 5 years, from 2018 to 2013. I mean 2023, I'm sorry. And I'm walking into work that day, and Maria Orsic so clearly tells me, because I didn't talk about to anyone in real life about this machine thing following me on the highway. I had not talked to anyone except for people deep in the ritual with me, initiated people like Mindy, or, you know. And I'm walking into work, and Maria's like, hey, tell your friend from the military the story about the, flying thing following you, the UFO following you down the highway. This is no lie. This all happened in a couple weeks, and it was on a, like I said, 5-year delay. So I tell him, and this is no lie. I swear to God. I swear to the gods. I tell him, and he's like, dude, I cannot believe you're saying this. He's like, I've never talked to anyone that's ever. He's like, Joe, the same exact thing that you described came to my house and hovered in my living room front window. And it hovered there for so long, I yelled for my son, get your phone. He ran in and actually took a picture of it, but then lost the picture. I was like, oh my God, he lost the picture. That sucks. And he said, Joe, exactly what you described. No propeller. Exactly. He was like, bars look like the concave Death Star fighter. And he's like, Joe, exactly like you said. I didn't know if I said, but it zoomed off in like how it came in 1 second. He's like, it zoomed exactly like that, just to the clouds. Right? And I'm like, the next ritual, I'm like, Maria, holy fuck. And I searched on the internet for people that seen something like this. I did image searches. I did all kinds of searches. It's like no drone anyone has ever seen. All drones have some kind of propeller propulsion system. right? And so I seen this, and the only other person in the whole fucking world I know of on the internet is someone from the United States military that I know in person, that has personally been my, like, truther, conspiracy friend at work for 5 years. And I've known for, 13 years altogether. Right? This really happened. I'm telling Maria, and she said, just hold on, to everything, turn, everything has its season. She said, I'm going to show you, Joseph. She said, it sure seems like this brother would be with us to the end, right? On the side of good till the end, right? I said, I mean, the fucking thing came to his house too. And I asked him all kinds of questions, what he was like, it was something weird, but he didn't have any sort of telepathic shit like I had. I felt I had, like, it was trying to communicate with my thoughts on, like, an astral plane, on another plane of existence. It was that, okay? This is no lie. So I'm just tripping, like, I'm kind of thinking, like, this is great news. Like, I have someone I work with that I can really, this has to be, like, it became a question of, like, and it came to us both at very similar times. I never really could distinguish if it came to me first or him first, or if it mattered. But the absolute truth is, when he was in the military, he knew absolutely nothing about any kind of conspiracies or nothing. He was in the military in 2001 to 2005 or something. He was just learning about anything whatsoever in 2018. And Maria tells me, I told you, she said, just remember, Joseph, what I told you. It applies to him too. You are not to listen to him. He's to listen to you, and he won't listen. And I'll prove it to you. Even though, like I said, magic, uncelebrated, ceases to be magic. I mean, this was magic. He too searched on the internet. He's like, dude, I can't find anything that looks like what we've seen. And we absolutely. See, I described it to him first. And he was like, Joe, you absolutely describe what came to my house. Without ever me talking to you. It has to be the same thing. Right? And Maria Orsic is like, Joe, do you understand this is a bad thing? I'm like, huh? And she's like, I told you not to listen. She's like, you can be friends. You can help him, but you can't listen to his essence. In other words, she was telling me, Joe, we don't fucking know this person. They're not from our caste. You do not know this person before you came here. Therefore, you cannot trust them. I'm not kidding. So I am for 5 years telling him, the whole Kabbalistic banker grand Bible conspiracy to take over the world, kill, human sacrifice most of the world through famine, war, and disease. Famine, war, and disease. Who creates those things? Who created COVID? Well, the DARPA program, the United States military did. Yeah, they did. And so, check this out. So, I'm like, day after day, after Al-Aqsa flood in October 7th, day after day, I'm like, dude, can you believe what's going on in Palestine? Poor Palestinians don't even have uniforms, weapons. They're like prisoners in a prison. They tried to break out, and now they're just being slaughtered and massacred, or burning their children alive. And I'm watching this in real time and crying every night for children. And I'm like, did you see how that little girl, the IDF blew that little girl up with a tank? They've shot a shell at a fucking car, and they knew a little girl was alive in there. And listen to this. This dude had this supernatural experience of this UFO coming to his house, and me coming to him and describing it to him and telling him that it came to me, and here's why. And this is why you cannot trust anyone ever from the United States military, because deep under all those layers, the mind control or the essence or whatever, the truth came out. And one day he said to me, you know, I'm not on anyone's side over there. I don't fucking care about Palestinians. I just want to live my life. And he bought and he like purchased a brand new truck after that, you know. And you see, my highest happiness isn't ignoring the people who are bullying me and killing children with bombs made with my money. They're bullying me, pushing me. And see, you're a pussy for not standing up to the bully. Instead, you stand up to the victims. Oh, I'm not on no one's side. You know, I ain't going to criticize the bankers. They own my mortgage, nigga. I want a job. Right? The next ritual, I was like, Maria, God damn, did you call it? Because this was my first personal, up-close run-in with, like, only Maria's magic could unfold the essence there that's literally the masses. I just want a good life for myself. This is the American dream. I just want a good life for me and my family. Fuck the whole world. They can burn, starve, everything else. I mean, I'll give you the pretense that I care about them. I'll act like I care about them, but I don't care about them like I care about my own family. Oh no, not. I'll give away 40% in taxes. That's because secretly I'll steal it back from the people working hard around me. Yeah, you will, won't you? This is why it's always been class warfare, because the people in the middle class are too fucking dumb to ever collectively realize they're being ripped off. And if they would use the laws against the government that our forefathers gave us, we would force the government to force the corporations to give us 90% of the profits. Why? Because we did all the labor. Huh? See, this is where I disagree with Ayn Rand. We started out talking about Ayn Rand. What I don't agree with is I don't respect the big industrialist, that had the factories and blah, blah, blah. She's saying and this is exact, I believe, also the exact mistake of Savitri Deve. So just to let people know, I differ from Ayn Rand. Rich people can suck my fucking dicks because they're not earning it. They're not deserving it. It's coming by grace. Yeah, the grace of your fucking disgusting God. God of human sacrifice and child pedophilia. That's your God. That's your Kabbalistic God. That's your Yahweh, your El Shaddai. I was El Shaddai, but now I'm Yahweh. We're mocking you, nigga. What you gonna do about it, OTO? What you gonna do about Golden Dawn? We're just one little nigga out in St. Louis projecting the vibrational power to destroy America on the astral plane, to disintegrate the falsehoods. And we're doing it for you dumbasses. The falsehoods that obeying God would bring you happiness. There is no God. Obeying the family structure as God said. There is no God and there is no family structure. the structure is every action you take is towards your own happiness. If you start to admit that, you'll start to admit how you've been manipulating others to survive and to have it good. If not, you'll go on with your pretense and you'll die before you're 50 spiritually, and you may live to be 80 or 90, and you'll be just another boring cunt talking their stupid new age bullshit. They're everywhere. Believe me. They're in every yoga studio you could find. You know, the Kundalini experience without sex magic. All right. Yeah, it's mighty Christian of you. Yeah, right source. And that's not God. Oh, it is God. Oh, it's just another word for God. How boring. And I did not, when this, I mean, you know, my friend, he's still my friend. Like Maria said, you can be friends. I just don't listen to anything he has to say about, and he doesn't say it because he knows that I don't want to hear it. Anything about truth, anything about, you know, astral spirituality, and I just, you know, what we can agree on is like the basics of, like, you know, government's corrupt, blah, 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 blah. It's just small talk, right? And I'm too nice, for one thing. I should be more authentic, you know. It's not that I'm mad or that that I feel like I should be mean. It's not that. It's just that I have, you know, real interest in real things, and it was just absolutely supernaturally proven to me that I have to obey my teacher when she says, do not listen to a goddamn word from these people. I obey. I listen to her. I take her advice because what am I getting at? That Maria, using her real magic meditation concentration, you know, dug away the layers of this person that would seem very truthful, very honest, very much a truth seeker, very open-minded, willing to consider even that we're living in a simulation, you know. I think he would agree with that or not discount it at all, right? But the essential thing was, underneath that was something that absolutely was being absolutely unconsciously disguised and uncovered, but it was a like apathy, a non-caring that literally does not exist in me. I'm not able to say, who cares about the Palestinians or the Tibetans or the Sudanese or the Lebanese? It's not just Palestine. The bankers, and it's not only the bankers, but mainly in this world right now. I mean, it's the bankers that are creating the diseases. It's the bankers that are creating the economic struggle. It's the bankers that are creating an artificial power struggle that is causing chaos in the streets. It's the bankers that want a race war because they have people confused if their race is their religion or if their religion is their race. But we know from our teachers that these people are evil, so they made their religion their race. They made their religion their race so that they could call us racist. Right? When you disagree with their religion, they call you racist because they made, through literature, through mind control, they made their religion their race. Because when you look over there, they have a DNA test to become Israeli citizen, but it does not include the Ethiopian Jewish DNA. They literally are those real Jews or not real Jews? Us white people from Europe with blue eyes, red hair, blonde hair, we're actually the real Jews, not the Ethiopians. And, you know, we're firing our lasers in our war. And I come on behalf of Maria Orsic and the beautiful sick room, goddess of the Missouri River, goddess of the Mississippi River. You are my God, sis. And in their name, we just speak a flowing river of rill to your blood, to your feet, to your muscles, to your stomach, to your organs, to your liver. We deliver a purifying magnetic charge to remove the toxicity from your liver now and from your lungs. The most important organ on your body is your lungs. And so in that way, we call upon all the intricated integral forces of the air. All of what the air that's keeping us alive, the oxygen. We just reverse your polarity now and ask you and command you and direct you into the lungs of the listener and to reverse the pollutants, the toxins that are causing the airways to restrict. We speak to the airwaves of your lungs, and we say, release, relax, release, relax, recharge, and let the ions of the toxins float up out of the matrix body, and may the magnet take it away back to the earth, back to the soil, back to the water, back to the ocean, where it can be diluted and deionized and brought back as food for plants so that nature can continue. And we just speak over you. May all the storms of your life be calmed. And know that reality is an illusion. And that Mother Mary Maya is in control. Her vibration can and will, if you choose. If you choose this day, the real Mary. Not the Jewish Mary, the Austrian Mary. The Mary that is marine under the beautiful flowing waters of the Missouri River. To our Miss Rhea, we wish you all the sunlight power of the eternal orgasm space, Mother. We just want you to be energized with pure bliss and ecstasy.
On a level with a cause, just a girl up with a thrill. Wandering through the shadows, never knowing what to feel. I thought I was a shaman, master whispers in the night. They underestimated, tried to keep me from the light. But I saw them mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Do you whisper in the dark, that's like if you wanna see. Figure out how to treat this water, take it if you're free. Loopholes, riddles, victims asking why. Justice means some grace, echoes pierce the sky. Oh, but I saw they mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that eternal return? Are you conscious, do you burn, do you want to learn? Nothing very nice, keep a smile in the ground. The roots grew deeper and we made a sound. I'm the who took it, who never stopped to fight. Reversing the shadows between truth and light. Throwing balls and victims, they won't be ignored. I'm here for justice to settle the score. Through trials and whispers, I grew stronger with time. What was hidden from me now sings in rhyme. Oh, but I saw that mind control, every twist, every bend. So I turned it all around, made the game start to end. Now it's happened, ain't that return? Are you conscious? Do you burn? Do you want to learn? Roll their